And that was the second room of the first house. The judges came here and deliberate in that room, which is called the Golden Room, because in the oldest was completely decorated with gold. When they had the sentence, came to the fountain that we have in the middle, normally with water, and they took an ablution, a religion bath. Water from the beginning of the hair to the eyes, mouth, hands, and feet. And in Allah's name, they pronounced the sentence. That was a ritual, we can say. The water is a very important element in the Alhambra. Water everywhere. These people came from dry countries. When they saw so much water in Granada, they wanted to have a fountain in each room to keep fresh the ambience in the summertime, listen to the music of the water, to decorate, because they use the big pools like mirrors, and also to be able to take the ablutions that they have to take at least 5 times every day before to pray. The water came and comes also today from Sierra Nevada, snow that we have up at the mountains, without mechanical pump, just with the help of the natural form, the gravity system. Still coming like that today, the same system that they had, but today with new materials, of course. From the old days, we have also the woodwork up there. It's one of the masterpieces of the Alhambra, cedar wood, 600 years old. Those palaces are the best preserved Arabian palaces of the Middle Age all around the world. Very interesting to understand how the Alhambra is still here are those metal plates that we have here. Up and down. Lead. To avoid the earthquakes. We have a lot of them in Granada, and the Arabs knew that. With the lead, the column is elastic, moved, but never fall down. That's why the Alhambra is still here. They had also their tunnel and midway to go to the bath. This way here was for the servants, and they didn't have to cross the other palaces, and they could go straight to the hammam, where they had 4 rooms. Steam bath, like the Roman Caldarium, a room with a small pool where they could get in with warm and perfumed water. The third one had water, perfume, but cold. And the last one, a relaxed room for massage. 2 levels there. The sultan was downstairs with his women for the massage. Upstairs they had a gallery for the musicians. They could play there. But they had to be blind, or they were made blind because they were not allowed to see the women that were downstairs. It was not a good profession in those days, was it? Much better to be the sultan. Okay, if you have seen that room, continue. Wait, if you haven't, you can take your pictures. We go slowly to the second house. We will go all together to the other side, but I will explain it first here. was the administration, official palace where the Sultan had his government, the throne. Here inside was the throne. In front of it, the main entrance. Through that gate came the diplomatics and ambassadors coming from another kingdoms to visit the Sultan. When they came inside, the Arabs put silk carpets on the floor. At the entrances, the soldiers with the gala uniform, and then they cut the myrtles, which are those hedges that we have there. myrtles, aromatic plants that you have to love. Like that, they don't smell. You have to wrap them or cut them if you want to enjoy the perfume that they have. And that's what they wanted. They wanted to play with the scents. They perfumed the whole ambience, and in the most absolute silence, they could only listen to the music of the water. Those were, for the Arabs, the three most important architectonical elements, with the symmetry, of course. The water, flowers, and light. They had everything here. It's a typical Arabian house. Look how the water plays with the sun, and we can see the reflection up on the wall, in the middle. It depends, not there but here. It depends of the time of the day. The reflection comes here to the middle like now, or to the other side a little bit later. In those days everything was decorated with the four colors, so it was much nicer. A little bit of blue here inside. The blue is the best preserved color in the Alhambra, lapis lazuli. And those are also the first mocarabes that we have in those palaces. Call that things like stalactites. And upstairs, where we have the wood jalousies, were in those days the most beautiful eyes of Andalusia. That was the harem for the concubines. Behind the jalousies, the women could see all the people that came here, but no one could see them. Was not allowed to see the women, like we said. The Sultan, or sultans, like any man, could have 4 official wives and as many concubines as he could maintain, as the money that he had. The normal thing for a sultan was to have between 20, 30 women in the harem. That was a normal sultan. We had in Granada 22 sultans. The first one, the one with the long name. The last one, Boabdil, who gave the keys to the Catholic monarchs. And the richest one was called Muhammad V. The poor thing had almost 200 women in the harem. He didn't live very long, actually. Too small was the palace for so many women. He had to build another palace. And he built the third one, the Lion's Court. That was a private palace where he was with the women. We will visit the palace later, but now let me show you the most historical room of the Alhambra, the room where Columbus talked for the first time with the Queen Isabel about the trip to India. Room called Ambassador Hall or the throne. The throne used to be here inside, for sitting the Sultan. On the right and on the left, the two viziers, the prime minister. The rest of the government inside of the other. All the balconies were closed like today, wood gems, but they had also stained glass. The light came from the back of the Sultan through the stained glass. When the people came inside, couldn't see him. They saw here just a silhouette, but they couldn't see his face. The Sultan from here could see the people's eyes, and he knew always what they wanted. Nicest view where the Sultan was. From here, we can see 3 arches. From the outside, only one. In the Alhambra, the nicest views are always from the inside to the outside. We have seen this tower from the outside already. There is nothing we can't imagine from the outside what we have inside. Look at the walls. Like filigrane. In this room, more than 90% is original. We can see the colors everywhere. And a lot of inscriptions. Arabian ones. There's one, like in the Hambra, that we can see more than the others. And it's the one that we have around the arches. You can see it here. Right to the left, we read Arabic. وَالْغَلِبِ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. From here to here is 1 time, 2 times, 3, 4, 5, 6. Repeat always the same. This one here is Allah, like 3 fingers. Only Allah is victorious. That was the emblem of the Nasrid dynasty. And we can see it at the shield of the family. Down on the floor, for instance, in the middle, we have ceramic, and there we can see the shield everywhere. That's how we know that the ceramic wasn't there in the old age. Arabs would never have the name of Allah on the floor. That was put by the Christians later. In the old days, the ceramic used to be on the wall. Had to destroy in order to build the palace of Charles V. They took apart the ceramic and put it where the Arabs had a carpet for the people that came to talk to the Sultan. They could stand right in the middle, same distance to each member of the government. But unique is the seal. 8,017 pieces of ivory and cedar wood. 104 stars up there symbolize the 7 heavens. These people thought that when someone died, had to wait for some years to be on the first heaven, and regularly, depending what they did in their lives, they could go to the 2nd or 3rd until they were in the 7th heaven, where the paradise was symbolized. Now you know what the expression 7th heaven comes from. So like we said, that's a very historical room. It was here where Boabdil, the last Sultan of Granada, decided one day with his government to give the keys to the Catholic monarchs. He gave the keys January the 2nd, 1492, and a few weeks later, April 17th, the same year, Columbus talked here for the first time officially with the Queen Isabel about a trip to India that ended with the discovery of America. Those words had seen many things already. Underneath heating in this room for the winter time. In the winter it's very cold. The weather that we are having in the last days is not normal. Normally it's a little bit colder. The Arabs had braziers, small rooms, called a meccan, and in big rooms like here, hot water under the floor. So like the Romans, then they had carpets everywhere. and 200 women. I'm kidding. The small niches on the right, on the left of the arches, no? They are called tacas, and they have those tacas to put perfume water, shells with jasmine, roses water. Take a religion back of the fingers and clean the soul before to visit the south room. At the night time, oil lamps to get light. The smaller room outside was a waiting room for the ambassadors, and they had there a luxury toilet with running water already in those rooms. The time to see the room, to take your pictures. I'll meet you on the other side, where the main entrance was. I show you the view, and then we go together to the library. Thank you.
Uns pakken was, maar een binnenkomendheid signaal.
Die scheinen allerdings nur Profis hier ranzusetzen.
The whole palace reflected on the water like a mirror. That's what the Arabs wanted with the water here. It wasn't a swimming pool. They were not allowed to swim here. They had a bath, mum. They wanted to impress the people when they came inside. Outside was nothing, exactly like the town. The people came inside, of course, they got impressed. When they saw all the beautiful decoration reflected on the water, everything looks nicer than it is. The tower looks bigger, I mean taller, higher. The 7 arches are 14. You can see the sky reflected on the water. To keep the mirror effect, they had a fountain here like a key, symbolize the key to the paradise, and has metal where the water goes out to listen to the music. Then a channel going to the pool to keep the mirror effect. If the water coming out will go straight to the pool, will break always the mirror with the wings, but not with the channel. It goes at the same level. There's always running water, 2 holes on the corner, where the water goes out and the mirror is always. Every single thing goes out. You're trying to take your pictures, that's nice. Yes. Because they are access to sit on the floor. That's how the Hambra should be seen, and down there. But we're not allowed to do that either. No. Okay, if you want, you can take a nice picture from there. I meet you here. Now let's go together to the lab. So ya la amiga por aquí. Ya se tiene muy bien, ¿no?
Which room is this?
This room is light with our clients. Okay, so I'm not allowed to talk in that room or in the other one. I will explain you the whole palace here, and then I'll give you 5 minutes so you can see each room and you can take your pictures, okay? Court of the Lions, or Lions Court without lions. That's the most famous place of the Alhambra. Dar al-Malik was the name in the old days, the house of the king. It was the private palace where the Sultan was with his women. 124 marble columns, building like a forest, like a palm trees forest. The columns were decorated with gold. The walls with the 4 colors that present. Through the holes, the filigrane, supposed to be like the leaves of the palm trees, came the light inside, played with the colors and the gold, giving a magical ambience. Where we have the 4 trees, they only had flowers. You see the stones on the floor? That was deeper than today. Deeper than the level of the floor, because they used to sit on the floor and they wanted to see what they had in front of them. With the flowers, it was like a flower sculpture. And the third element, the water, came through the 4 channels that symbolize the 4 rivers of the Quranic paradise. The lions, like I said, in restoration now, supposed to be there around the 112 lions. Something strange in the Hambra. On the walls, I don't know if you realize it, but we only have natural elements. Flowers, leaves, shells, geometrical designs, inscriptions, but never people or animals. They are not allowed to pray to the people or to the animals, and they don't represent them normally. The lions that we normally have here were a gift from a Jewish family for the Sultan Muhammad V, the Sultan who built this palace. The name of that family, Nagrela, and they used to live where we are now, where the Alhambra is today, before they built the Alhambra with the other family, with the other dynasty. They had the lions already with them. That means that the lions are older than the Alhambra. In the 11th century are the lions, 14th century this palace. Like you know, in Granada used to live together the Arabs, the Jews and the Christians for 800 years in peace. And the Sultan wanted to have the three religions together in his private house, like in his kingdom. 12 lions symbolize the 12 tribes of Israel. This courtyard is not the typical Arabian one, like the one that we have seen before. This one is more like a cluster, Kreuzgang. Something that the Arabs never did before. They took it from the Christians to have their religion here as well, and Islam. Islam is everywhere. Sentences taken from Quran, decoration made with arabesque. And they were the ones who built the palace. It's normal that we can see the religion also everywhere. The private rooms were on the upper level, on the right and on the left. Two big rooms connected with the harem that we have seen there. Downstairs, luxury rooms. There are three. That's what they had the daily life. Here on the right, in the middle, was the living room of the Sultan. It's called today Abencerrajes room. Abencerrajes was the name of a rich Arabic family that used to live in the Hambra in another palace. And the legend says that there inside were behaving the 36 men of that family, because one of them had no affair with the Sultan's wife. The Sultan was Boabdil, and he saw them together. My wife is a man, but he couldn't see his face. He saw the cloth with the shield of the family. He knew that belonged to that family, but he didn't know who of the family was. He asked his wife, but she didn't want to recognize that she had a love affair with anyone, like you can imagine. So the Sultan waited, and a few weeks later, he celebrated a party here and invited the whole family. When the 36 men were inside, he closed the main door and said that he wanted to talk to them one by one inside of the living room about a political subject. They were all very proud. The Sultan wanted their opinions. They were going inside, one after the other one, and the Sultan cut the heads of the 36 men and made sure that they guilty. There inside we have the fountain where he cut the heads. Still today you can see inside the red color, the blood. Tales of the Alhambra, Washington Irving, an American writer who came to Spain as the first ambassador of the United States. He was living in Toledo, Madrid, Sevilla, Granada, in the Alhambra for 3 months in the year of 1829, in a room that I will show you later. He wrote there the tales, and it's like 1001 Nights, but here in Granada. A nice book that I recommend you. There inside you will see also a beautiful ceiling made with the stalactites, the mukarabis. And don't forget, it's always nicer from the inside to the outside. If you go in and stop, you're missing everything. Go inside around the fountain before you leave. You can see the 3 arches. Through the other one, where they used to celebrate the parties, also in restoration, 3 paintings that we have there. And on the left, where I will meet you, the last Arabian room, called the Two Sisters room, because of 2 big marble plates that we have on the floor, like this, but much bigger and exactly the same. They are the 2 sisters. That was where the 4 official wives used to be. I will show you that there. I wait for you in that room. You have your time to go here, go through the other one, and I'm waiting for you. There is the
Nee. Je bent er nog niet meer.
Kan hoor ik veel. Ga ik je dan voor de volgende
Op die kant.
The ceiling was the shape of the shield of Allah.
Yeah, did you see how beautifully you can see the 3 arches, one behind the other like that?
Je bent dus Koran, Allah had
and that was the bedroom of the 4 official wives. 1 room, 4 windows. They used to live together, but they had 4 windows to symbolize exactly the same each one. Let me show you the ceiling here before we leave. We can see here the only original wood ceiling with stained glass that we still have from the old. Exactly like here. Used to be closed, all the outer windows and also the balconies, and it's the only original. Actually, we are running now to be one of the next 7 wonders of the world. If you like it, go. Nice to see the ceiling there inside, so forget. There inside, stained glass, inside of this bottle. Then we leave this way. We will leave the Middle Age now through a gate that used to be a window like the one that we have there. Okay? That was the end of the palace. But came Charles V, spent his honeymoon, and didn't want to live in those palaces. He had another mentality. The big palace that we have seen outside wasn't there yet. He opened a gate where the Arabs had a window, built a corridor where the Arabs had a street, and all the rooms that we have seen in front of the balcony. That's why we can't see the view from here anymore. The view is in another balcony that I will show you now. Leaving the palace, you will see through the window the steam bath. The roof close to the steam bath. That was the Hambra. Inside is the bath. Steam bath. Well, because he thought that he would come back many times. He was building another palace, and he decided to build a palace here. And he wanted to make Granada the main capital of Spain. It was so important for his grandparents. But since he never came back, it was only used for the honeymoon. That was a gallery where the blind musicians used to be. That was their relaxed room, massage. But the entrance is downstairs. You have seen the roof of the steam bath, and that was the upper level. That's where the gallery for the musicians used to be. Downstairs, the massage. And that was closed. A window here in street. This room here, very different, was the living room of Charles V. We have a Renaissance ceiling up here. See the wood again. Glass ultra, the same emblem that we have seen at the beginning, and the initials K and Y. K, Carolus, Charles, and Y, Isabel of Portugal, his wife. Those were the rooms, bedrooms where they spent their honeymoon, and later Washington Irving, the American writer, wrote there inside the tales of Young. Now we will see the view that the women used to have in the other balcony where we had seen the stables. Let me show you. Washington Irving escribió, wrote in those rooms the tales of Johanna.
No, but I wasn't wearing sensible. I was yours with that.
Well, after the last well, that's the view that we have seen also at the beginning, eh? It's even nicer. We have the old town on the left, narrow streets in the old town to keep the shade inside. It's very important in the summertime. It's the only way to walk through when it's so hot outside. And in the times that we are talking about, also to avoid the enemy. just in case that the enemy came inside of the city. They couldn't go more than one at the same time, and they could fight. Then, where we have the wall, we have the gypsies' caves, all those white houses. And the building up on the right, up there, used to be an abbey, but now it's empty. I mean, nobody lives there. We have a church, a museum, but this monastery is empty.
What's it called? The name of that?
Abadia del Sacromonte. Yeah. Down there we have the river Darro. Can't see much water from here, but you believe me. Okay, and that's it. Now we will go downstairs, we will go outside, and we will walk through the garden, Partal Garden, to the Generalife, where the summer palace used to be. So if you have a question about here, no, never. That was the bath, but the hammam is closed. You can always see from here the spring bath.
It's almost like the same effect of water running over.
Los hombres se lavan unos a otros. Showing you what they really say.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Santa Maria de la Alhambra, that's where the mosque used to be, the oldest. And that is the only thing that the Catholic monarchs destroyed when they conquered Granada. The mosque. They didn't want to have Arabian churches anymore, and they built all these Christian ones. Here they had houses and palaces. Remember at the beginning when we saw the lion, it was another big one, a big lion, used to be there in that pool. We have two big lions with water. That's the ruin of the palace. They go up to the last house of Granada used to be show you the way to go back to the
Tekrar kan jag sätta så här.
Burada kendine sanat sorfa üstünde peki. Böyle yapıyorum. Tú dale a los botones que algo sale.
Yeah, somebody. No, that's fine.
Thank you.
Comes from Jannat al-Harif, Arabic name, and means paradise garden. That was the summer palace, what they had here, a summer palace, and vegetable gardens to feed the people that were living in the Alhambra. We still have two of them down there. I don't know if you can see them. From here, one, yeah. But we will see it much better from up here. And where the third one was, here, the theater, where we have the best ballets of the world in June and July. International festivals of music and dance. Dance here, music in the palace of Charles V. And this model garden made at the beginning of the last century in French style. Cypress too is cut by hand once a year. We will walk through the model garden, we will see the inside of the summer palace, and we will come back. Okay? What about you?
Sanjay, a ticket. Do you need? Maybe not. Nobody does.
Nej, sånt ändå, det var så jag avstår. Sånt kan man ha ju som det nu. Sånt kan man ha, nej, som djur. Nej. Men då vet jag, sluta nu. De pengar har ju mycket tjockare mark. Och därför är det lättare att göra en körnsam som ser ut som en hönsam. Och slimet kan man ha större chans att likna riktigt. Det går här.
Can you take a photo for me?
I'm not very good at it.
Sanjay, go ahead.
Not so hard.
You can take a mommy's picture, mommy and Sanjay's picture.
Try and get like, all the way down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nadu. ఇంకా పైకి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత ఎంత తీసుకొచ్చారా?
Look at those flowers, how beautiful.
That's the original way to come here. What we have seen now is the vegetable garden. So the first story here was only 20 horses. The houses that we have seen in the old town are called like that, Carmen of something. Carmen of Maria, Carmen of the cypress tree, but nothing to do with the women's name. Comes from Karma, Arabic word, which means vineyards, grape trees. All the houses have a patio with the grapes to keep the shade inside. That's what the name Carmen is. Well, that's the oldest Carmen that we have in Granada. It was built in the year of 1319. After the conquest, the whole area was in private hands and belonged to a Christian family. Vale. Come to the closer of the road. De nada. But after the conquest, I told you that a Christian family had the garden at the beginning of the last century. The name of the first family was Campoteja Venegas, and that family married the Grimaldis. Until the beginning of the last century, the Grimaldis had the garden in private hands. And then came the Queen Isabel II, Spanish queen, and the Grimaldis had to give the garden back to the city. Today they belong to the world. It was then when we made the modern garden that we have seen, and that's why we will see upstairs Arabian and Christian elements together. Can you see the key? Symbolize the key to the paradise. Jannat al-Harif, paradise garden. I'm guiding you to the paradise now. Yes. This one is good. But a small one and a big one. And the normal oranges are just. Whenever you see the two leaves, don't eat the oranges. Paradise is waiting for us.
అది ఇక్కడ కెమెరా ఎవరైనా అడగమని జస్ట్ టేక్ ఇట్.
Ska göra som det heter med liv. Det här är vad vi känner för tydligt.
Take your pictures and go in this way. There's only one way.
Det är svårt att få.
Okay.
We went back to Tuesday and went Thursday, Friday. But,
I like walked my parents through it. My dad's like, there's no green button. And I'm like, Dad, yes, there is.
oh, that's cool.
Strawberry.
So I can't give it to you from the table. Where do you want for yourself?
Sweet and salty.
So the 20 postcards, that would be fun to see what they are, and then you can put them to the side. So,
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Only use in the morning at
Whether Sierra Nevada. Mountain. Mountain.
Sunday, Sierra Nevada. You got a beautiful view. Peanut scotch. got more stamps. In order, he always.
Yeah, that. Yeah, you're looking at it through the wrong way. I almost came.
What's that?
Do I need him to get out of Canada?
No.
Quite a lot of snow up there, though.
Exactly, that's what I'm gonna put in my book. And you can say mine, you can have, I mean, if yours is not.
Well, it's funny too. We get 3 timings.
Probably good then. I just didn't know if you had it still in your pocket or. Yeah.
So I'm going before you.
Camera on.
You're not. No, not What's called in? It's eyewitnesses, but as far as I know, it's going to see. I think there's 3 different boats.